Ah, Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant.
Whoa, that's refreshing.
And a 9.5 plus pH for every way you move.
I did take a spin class today.
Restoring like a pro. Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant. For those with a taste for taste. Grab yours today.
Anyone can follow. It takes something special to be an original. Which is why the 2025 Lincoln Navigator SUV arrives with new ways of surrounding you in luxury, including the ultra-wide 48-inch panoramic display and the multi-sensory Lincoln Rejuvenate experience. A true original never stops evolving. So meet the 2025 Navigator, the original that's all new and better than ever. Learn more at Lincoln.com. Lincoln and Navigator are trademarks of Ford or its affiliates.
What is going on, everybody? Ryan Leary, William Tincup here on the BARF. This is the look at the week that was, so you could be prepared for the week that is. I stumbled there a bit, huh? It's all good, though. That's we'll have to practice that more. What's going on, man? How are you?
Good, man. It's a wonderful Sunday here in Arlington, Texas.
Yeah.
And got Henry in the house for about 14 more days before we drop him off to college.
And he is gone.
And he will be in the Army. So
For 9 years.
Yeah. You're in the Army now, son. Yeah.
Daddy can't help you anymore.
No, he's got a new daddy.
Oh, whatever. That was good.
He's got a new daddy.
You got a new daddy, son.
Yeah, it's Uncle Sam.
How is he going to take the drill sergeants and all of that?
Dude, I've thought about this a lot. He's been living under my roof for 18 years, and I can be relatively volatile. If he can live with me,
he can live with them.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could take the structure. However, the things that you've described, certain number of items, you only have this, you wear this every day. I could be down with that because finding clothes every day, that really sucks.
The Brigadier General who's over the Commandant. So the Commandant sent an email yesterday and basically said, you're going to come at your assigned times, you're going to park in Lock 40, and then you're going to leave your stuff in your car. Your son will come and check in, have all his forms ready, and you'll go to a different room where the parents are.
And you'll never see him again.
And it's working towards that, right? And then once he's checked in, he will come and find you. You will go to the car, and then you will take his stuff to his room, and then you will leave.
I wish drop-off is like that all the time. I mean, drop-off days sucked, man. Like, everybody wanted to stay and hang out and this and that.
Tell me a little bit about your roommate. No, there'll be none of that.
It was emotional for the parents, but the kid, we're just like, get out of here. Like, let's go.
It's good for all parties involved. I mean, it'll be with Van and Michael and I driving home. I'm sure it'll be emotional and stuff like that. However, there won't be any emotion during that process. The emotion has been squished out.
There is no emotion. No. Drop your son off and get out.
Get out. Well, no, and even explicitly says, if it's not on the packing list, don't bring it.
Oh, that's fantastic. If it's on the packing list, bring it. If it's not, do not bring it. There's no improvision here. That's it.
No, that's the military. Again, it's good for some kids, not good for others. This kid, it'd be good. It'd be good.
Most of that would have been good for me, except for boot camp, except for all of the hard work that comes after it.
You're pretty competitive. You'd have done fine in boot camp.
I truly believe I would do fine. But and I probably would have had a much different life, better life. I don't know.
Different wife, different kids.
Yeah, my whole life would have been very different. Yeah.
All right. Now we're fans of earned wage access, right?
Yeah, we are.
Say that? We can say that?
We are fans of earned wage access.
I got a story for you. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau proposed an interpretive rule on Thursday saying that programs offered by employers that directly or indirectly to users of fintech apps are consumer loans and subject to the Truth in Lending Act. So This is CNBC, so you go check it out. But so what does this mean? Under the proposed rule, users would see fees expressed as APR, like credit card interest rates. Costs or fees incurred by consumers that access their paychecks early would need to be expressed as an annual percentage rate, APR. So they'd be able to see that, and the typical earned wage access user pays fees that amount to 109.5 APR.
What?
Despite the service offer being
You
marketed
sure that's not
as
10.9?
109.
Damn.
109.5
Talk
like
about predatory.
like a good summer day in Texas. So, but they're marketed as free or low cost solutions. And again, the devil's in the details, right? So we look at, and not everybody, when we were at Ceridian, I think it was last year, they have a thing called Wallet.
Right.
And it's an earned wage access thing, but there are no fees. There's no fees to the company. There's no fees to the person.
The majority of them don't have any fees.
I don't know. Now that we're saying that, now I don't know. I don't know that to be true.
109.5. That just seems like
it's predatory. You said it exactly right. That seems that just doesn't seem like.
I mean,
it should be
shit.
something.
Go get an American Express, have your 22.5, and pay your bills, and you'll be better off.
Yeah, 109.5%.
What's the purpose behind this?
Well, because you're accessing that fee early, or you're accessing your wages early, and they're putting a fee on top of it.
I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense.
It's my money. I earned it. That's like these employers that take tips from employees.
But see, if they're using that as float, meaning
we're
doing the paycheck. Yeah, they're charging a finance fee.
Right.
Again, I don't think you're like yourself. I don't think every earned wage access. So we're going to be asking as we talk to some of these vendors, what the fees look like. And I think, we'll find out who's doing it and who's not. But again, it's a proposed rule. So it isn't done yet. But I mean, the fact that they're onto it is something for us to pay attention to.
I could see a fee, right? You use a fee for ATM. I understand. 109 is a bit much. Like, make it 10.9. That sounds fair to me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. It's, again, there you go.
Is what it is, right? All right. ADP.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually, so we love ADP. We love the people at ADP. We talk all the time with these guys. We do a lot of stuff with them. ADP settles a lawsuit for a convicted murderer.
Okay.
Or were they? Who knows? So ADP Screening and Selection Services settled a lawsuit for incorrectly reporting a job candidate as a convicted murderer, not felon, or a ran red like a murderer.
Kids.
Yeah, like they ate them up and put them away. Anyway, so in November, another lawsuit was filed for incorrectly reporting someone as a convicted drug dealer. Trends. So ADP, they did settle, but this isn't an ADP thing per se. This is that they use ADP selection services, background checks. You know this. They have a systemic issue of data, right? There's systemic data issues that influence the results. And so inherently it's a flawed process. So I don't know the solution because I am not super smart in this area or many areas at that. But
Hey, I'm Katie Van Horn.
And I'm Jackie Clayton.
We're your hosts of the Inclusive AF podcast, where we take on DEI, leadership, and HR without all the corporate fluff.
That's right. We've got decades of experience, a lot of opinions, and zero tolerance for performative anything.
Every week, we dig into what it really takes to build inclusive workplaces with honesty, strategy, and a few side eyes.
We'll talk about the tough stuff, power dynamics, privilege, what's broken in the system, and how we can all do better.
And don't worry, it's not all heavy. We bring receipts, laughs, and real talk from people actually doing the work.
Think of it as your weekly dose of truth, tips, and a little tea to help you lead with intention and show up for your people.
So if you're ready to push past the buzzwords and get into the actual work of inclusion,
you're in the right place. So subscribe to the Inclusive AF podcast.
New episodes drop every week.
Catch us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll be here breaking it down one inclusive convo at a time.
Bad data, bad results.
Yeah.
This is an example, and this isn't just an ADP thing. This is just an ADP example, but there's
Right.
a ton of them out there. So how
It'd
do
be
we?
interesting to see if that's a third party
Yes,
screen, like if they're using a third party to do that, or
They
if
are.
that's their own. They are.
yeah, they are, and most do, and this is the problem. It's they're relying on specific data. However,
Right.
ADP in this case
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
screening and selection and didn't go back to verify. And turns out that, and I can't remember if it was a drug dealer or the murderer situation, but
Well, the good
in-
news
in-
here.
in one of those situations, they didn't go back to the local municipality to confirm. It was
Right.
just taken as a source of truth. Now, part of that is on the employer side as well, in my opinion.
Yes.
They saw it. They just said, "Oh, no,"
Yep. Not going forward. Yep.
but didn't do any additional verification.
Horrible for candidates. Totally get it. But if there is a silver lining, at least they erred on the side of don't hire this person. Like, no, seriously. Imagine if there was a convicted murderer,
Yeah.
and they flagged it as, dude's a solid citizen. So if
True.
there is a silver lining, I don't think there is, but if there is a silver lining, at least they erred on someone being horrible. Right? Because they
I
could have been
guess
the other
so.
way.
Yeah.
They could have passed someone through and said, "Oh yeah, dude, great kid, hire him absolutely." And now you've got risk. Again,
Right.
they would have still been sued, and it would have still been a different thing.
It would have
but-
been a different thing, but at least it would. Yeah, I hear what
Yeah.
you're saying. But
Yeah.
again, this isn't just an ADP thing. This is, I think this is industry wide.
Oh,
if
100%.
if they're leveraging third party data.
That's why so many people are getting into identity
Verifications,
and
yeah.
verification and monitoring and all that other stuff to where it goes deeper.
Yeah.
All right. So the last three BARFs, we've talked about DEI being dropped from
Yeah.
Tractor Supply, woof, John Deere, woof. This past week, Microsoft.
Yes.
Microsoft fires DEI team, and in the memo it says no longer business critical.
Hmm.
So I found this actually on campusreform.org, which I was looking at it from the college recruiting perspective. So because we've had a lot of calls lately about talking about Gen Z
Yeah.
and how they look at jobs differently. So this is the
I almost have the years in my mind. Like I could tell you when Gen Z is an X. I still
yeah.
can't
You're
remember. Yeah, but
you're
no,
nearly-
close. Go ahead.
So as we've talked about in the last two episodes, I kind of get Tractor Supply and John Deere because they can hide behind the audience or the consumers that they serve. Again, I still think it's a hide. I think it's an excuse to get rid of a program that they didn't really believe in the beginning. But I don't get Microsoft. This one, when it came across the wire, it really perplexed me. Like, I think I sent you a screenshot of it, and I'm like, I don't get this. And so,
But is
naturally,
is this a situation though of not that it's not business critical, but because a lot of these there's discussions on news about this, CNNs
Right.
of the world,
right?
where it's baked into the fabric. I'm using air quotes for those not watching. Fabric.
That sounds
of
good.
The business sounds good, but what
And-
does
and
that really mean?
Here's the rub, and this is going to be the rub for anybody that cares about DEI. If there's no one in charge of it, and you basically say, "Hey, it's everyone's responsibility," it sounds good,
Right.
It's everybody's responsibility. But if no one's in charge of it, no one's actually monitoring success.
That's true.
So it's easy to hide behind that and say, "Well, diversity, we're past the point of saying that we need a team that does this X, Y, and Z." No, it's everyone's responsibility
Right.
to care about diversity, blah, blah, blah. If everyone cares about it, no one cares about it. And
That's
then
the
you
point.
also don't have the layer of responsibility, etc. So I'm thinking about Microsoft is a huge college recruiter.
Mhm.
Like they do a ton of recruiting there and in general, right? They're in Seattle. Like this is again, if this were Houston, Texas, I'll just use my own state.
Yeah.
If this was Houston, Texas, I get it. like, come on now. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. A bunch of energy guys. I totally understand. This is Seattle.
Yeah.
like one of the more progressive places in America. So like I don't get this at all, and I think there's going to be more that comes out over this over time. I think you're right. I think they are going to say, "Hey, listen, it's everybody's responsibility." That's why it's not business critical, because it goes through everyone's responsibilities.
Yeah,
which I think is worth.
Which doesn't get to success, or you can't monitor success. I will say, if Texas, as a state, had an uprising and said, we are going to protest the United States and take on the United States.
Dude, every year it happens.
Yeah, well,
actually, it comes up. It's called Texas Independence Day.
Yeah, but I might actually put my money, if I were a betting man, on Texas to win that battle.
We already have our own energy grid. We're good.
Your own, and you have. I feel like you have an arsenal bigger than most countries. I'm just saying.
I can validate that. No, we're ready.
All right, Walmart. Walmart will pay $2.5 million to settle a class action lawsuit for pre-shift COVID screening. Now,
that's actual money. Okay.
Yes, that's its money. And this is interesting because I fully agree with this. And I agree with this because a few shows back, we talked about my daughter who is working at, she quit. More power to her. She said, stick it. And she did. She was a hostess at the restaurant, and they wanted to cross-train her to be a runner for tables. Right now, she's 16. Okay, right. While she was training to help the restaurant do more work, they took her from $11 or $12 an hour down to $4 an hour for 3.5 to 4 weeks during training when she's already an employee for like 4 or 5 months.
That's
good for her.
Shady.
She stood up and she quit. Anyway, so this I'm glad this happened for Walmart. So, because this is happening, I'm sure it happened a lot of places. So, they require during COVID pre-shift COVID testing. Make sure you're not positive. Right. 15 to 20 minutes.
You should be clocked in for that. You're
right.
there.
15 to 20 minutes it takes you to get your test and wait and all that stuff. They were not paid for that. That was pre-shift. Now, right? So this is in Arizona, affects roughly 81,000 people or so. So they're going to be paying this out because when you're under the control of an employer, in this case, pre-shift COVID testing, you have to get in line. You have to be quarantined. You have to take your test. You need to be compensated for that, right? This is part of your work schedule, and they didn't do that. Now, in 22, in 22, Apple paid out $30.4 million. So over $30 million to settle a very similar thing, the same thing in California, but not for COVID. This was for off the clock. Okay, air quotes again for those not listening or not watching. Sorry, for security checks. So when they left for meal breaks, they came in. When your shift ended, they have to go through bag checks to make sure you're not stealing anything and things like that. They weren't compensated
that should be paid
for that.
Yeah, they got to be paid for that.
You're in line for 15, 20 minutes to get screened by your employee. Yes, $30 million Apple paid out for that.
And those are just two examples this week. God only knows how many examples there are in the United States. Because that's just shitty to treat your employees like that. I mean, again, it's their time. Yeah. Pay them for their time. It's no big deal.
Yeah. So I think that I know this is the biggest story, but for me, for parents that are out there, I doubt kids are listening to those, but for those that are listening that have kids that are working, and the kids are complaining, I have to do this and I don't get paid. Like, it's a real thing.
Attention.
Yeah, pay attention to that, because if I add up all the hours that she trained over 3 to 4 weeks, it's a paycheck or two for her. Like, in money wise, not going to change her life, but she had the cojones to stand up and say.
It's also sending a signal to her as a future employee that you don't matter. Your time doesn't matter, which is unfortunate, because time matters.
Absolutely, it does. So anyway, I thought that was well worth the story.
Let me read you a headline, Brian. 16 Chinese employers sued for requiring pregnancy tests from female job seekers.
Wow. Next story. Like, what else do you say about that?
You start twitching.
Could you imagine going into a job interview and they're like, okay,
there you go.
pee on this.
Yeah, just go ahead and pee on this. Yeah. So work on this on hcamag.com. You can read more about it, but HR in China is very much like the 1950s.
Is there HR in China?
Well, that's HR. It's screening. I mean, yeah,
I guess.
it's screening. It's not screening in the way that
it's
anyone
screening.
here in the United States would accept as screening for a number of reasons. But that's legit. And then so in one case, a woman, so out of these 16, in one case, a woman was found expecting a baby, was not hired.
I'm sure there was a lot more cases than that.
So not only did they give you the clear blue or whatever the hell the pregnancy test is, not only did they give you those during the process, like, all right, just go in the bathroom and bring back the stick. Not only did that happen, in the case where they brought back the stick and it said that they were pregnant or expecting, they said, hey, thanks, but no thanks. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Dude, I mean, when I had to read it like twice so to make sure I was reading it right, correctly. Like, no, this is actually legit. This is happening in China right now, and this is what we know. God only knows of the HR things that we don't know in Russia or China, North Korea,
it's actually
etc.
pretty funny, sad but funny story. So that's
sad but funny.
Yeah. All right. HireVue is back at it, named in a lie detector lawsuits.
Lie detector
with an S. Suits. So, all right. So we all know, like, HireVue's had its issues in the past.
This episode is brought to you by Marqeta. When it comes to your payments provider, you can't afford to compromise. Marqeta's modern payment solutions flex with your business without the trade-offs. Stable and agile, secure and innovative, scalable and configurable. If they say you can't have it all, don't believe them. Your business demands more. Choose a payments provider that delivers more. Choose Marqeta. Visit marqeta.com/Spotify to learn more.
I want to take a break real quick just to let you know about a new show we've just added to the network. Up Next at Work, hosted by Gene and Kata Keel of the Devon Group. Fantastic show. If you're looking for something that pushes the norm, pushes the boundaries, has some really spirited conversations, Google Up Next at Work, Gene and Kata Keel from the Devon Group.
It has facial recognition,
Yeah. So biometric, facial rec, lie detector suits. This is like, it's almost like every year you expect HireVue to be named in something like this. So these lawsuits essentially are highlighting concerns over privacy, informed consent, and the use of biometric data in an AI-driven hiring process.
Right.
So essentially what's happening is it's in one of the suits, or I guess in this suit that I'm talking about, as out of Boston for well, I forget who it was, Milton residents, whatever it was. It was tracking smiles, facial expressions, all of that stuff, and then making recommendations based on that. So is he telling the truth? Is he being a little quirky? Oh, look, he did this. Right. That means he's potentially doing this, and then making recommendations based on that. And so, again, they were named. There's multiple of them that are active and out there. So the more you dig, the more pops up. This is just the latest in that, which, I don't think it's going away. I think HireVue has been at this for a very long time, and they keep coming out on top. And I'm kind of my personal feelings on this. I don't know that I hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either.
The thing is again, cultural issues are going to jam all this stuff up. When you bring in different races, different cultures, different ethnic backgrounds, religious backgrounds, etc. So someone that smiles, let's just use kind of an extreme situation. Like you and I have worked with a lot of Indian people in the past, right?
I'm smiling.
And Indian people,
I keep smiling.
I don't, when an Indian guy, when you're working with them,
They nod,
and they're nodding like this.
Right.
They're not nodding like, "Hey, I got you." They're nodding this way. Well, wait a minute. If the software is set up in such a way to where it can't recognize that as a cultural difference,
right,
then you're going to have all kinds of fallout. It's basically making it homogenous. Like, okay, everyone that smiles is like this. Everyone that uses their eyes like this. Like I was taught growing up not to look people in their eyes. Like my grandmother and grandfather actually taught me, when someone's speaking, you listen, you put your ear up and you put your eyes down. So like,
I put my ears up just because I can't hear them. So like I'm getting to that point in life where I'm like, I start turning to the side. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
get one of those cones. Get one of those cones. Just kind of lean in.
Yeah, but honestly, so here's where I'm torn. They've been at this a long time. I mean, going through these lawsuits.
2008.
Yeah, for forever they've been doing this. Again, going through these lawsuits. But if we're going to leverage technology in the process, I kind of feel like this needs to be part of this. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to run into this stuff.
Yeah.
So in some ways, again, they were one of the probably 3 companies that were started off with video interviewing. Started the category, and they've always been on the innovative side. Yeah, I think this is where, as an innovator, you run the risk of making mistakes, and so when your mistakes are kind of blown out of proportion, we go forward 2 years, and this might not be a thing.
Oh, in 2 years, companies are going to be buying this hand over foot and saying,
"Good point."
I mean, look, people, it's happening anyway, right? In interviews,
right?
It's just happening by the human. So the human is being biased, and the human is making the errors. Technology will go through the same issues, and I think for the most part, I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't say that because I don't know, but I would assume, because I'm a believer in technology, it's going to be better than humans at this. So in time, I just don't think it's a bad thing. I think for now we'll go through the growing pains, and that's okay.
Well, think about it when the calculator was first invented, and everyone was using abacuses and using different long division and all that type of stuff. Someone built a calculator, put it in front of people, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't trust that shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use my abacus. I'm gonna use my own way of doing math."
Who's using an abacus now?
Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
At one point, they're like, "You know what? I trust this little machine. We're good."
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that we were not allowed to use calculators in school.
No.
Now they have to use calculators. They say, no, you just use the calculator.
They're scientific calculators. Yeah.
I can learn how to put a function into a calculator, and that makes, I get different times. I get it.
U.S. union organizing and unions election rate is surging. NLRB says, so this is on Reuters, so you go take a look at it. Backdrop, the board in a release said it has received more than 2,600 union election petitions during the fiscal year that ended on September 30th, surpassing the full previous fiscal year. So my question is, why is unionization so interesting now? Like now versus 2019, right? So why is that? Is it inflation? Is it politics? Is it like, that's a lot. The fact that they already have their number from last year and it's July 28th, they've still got 2 full months of seeing what happens. That's insane. So I don't understand why unionization is sexy now. That's my struggle, is when I read that, first of all, I was surprised. Second of all, why is this now versus 2019? Like during COVID, during that period of COVID, like I could see shit just kind of blowing up and doing different things. Like, okay, outside of that. 2019 was a relatively normal year-ish. So why is it different? Do you have any idea why it's sexy or in vogue?
Well, I think because employees are feeling the pinch from employers now. Employers want to go back to certain things. Employers want to do certain things, and employees don't have a voice. Non-union employees don't have a voice, and Erica is in this situation now.
Right.
She is. So for those that are listening that don't know everything about my family, Erica is my wife.
Yeah. Fair
There we go. So she's a teacher. And for the last couple of years, she has been an assistant teacher as she went back into the workforce. Well, I think we were talking about this the other day, or somebody was with me. She's 35 hours, not full time. So at 35 hours, that's
full time.
I mean, come on, right? Like that's full time. Let's be real, right? But they cut her off an hour per day because that's the position. Right. However, she's not entitled to the 40-hour benefits of a teacher. Right. And she's in the classroom doing the job of the teacher. So I've always had an issue with this. Now she just got a message that they want to unionize for the assistant teachers. That'll get them the benefits. That'll get to the benefits. And her year should add up to a pension and all of this stuff, right? And so because in order for her to get her pension, she's got what she would starting from zero because she just went back into the workforce after a long break from raising family. And she's only part-time because she's 35 hours.
That's not part-time.
Right. It's not part-time. Right. So now hopefully a union comes in like they're doing and organizes them. And she gets that credit because without the assistant teachers, they can't teach the classroom. It's not just an assistant teacher for the sake of having. There's too many kids. Right. They need to do certain things. And so take her out of the room. That classroom doesn't have a teacher now.
No.
So she needs to be entitled. And I think that's what's happening across the board. What? Workers are coming back in and employers are trying to kind of snipe them and take advantage of that. And we're going to see more of this.
Okay. Check.
My thoughts.
No, I like it.
So I put this in here because it's your hometown. Well, your home state.
Yeah.
Tejas Chocolate and Tejas Dragon. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
So used employee tips to buy condiments and packaging. All right, so there's really not a story here. This is just
So the tip jar goes to the manager. The manager
all the credit card tips, the tip jar, the whole bit. Yeah, they went to the restaurants and to the chocolate company and the restaurant, whatever it is, to buy condiments and packaging for the business, and never gave it to the employees. So anyhow,
that's just terrible.
Yeah, they're being sued. I threw it in there because I saw it, and you're in Texas, and I thought you would enjoy that and not support them. So there you go.
Well, yeah. So Salesforce and Workday form strategic partnership and unveil a new AI employee service agent. This can be found in newsroom.workday.com. Whenever you see two of probably the most successful SaaS players to ever be around, collaborating, it's something to watch. So the customers of both solutions must overlap between Salesforce and Workday, probably 90%. Where there is Workday, there is Salesforce. Where there is Salesforce, there's Workday, etc. This is an AI-powered assistant for employee services, use cases being onboarding, health benefits, career development within Salesforce and Workday. So if you're running Workday, it does it there. If you're running Salesforce, it can do it there as well.
Right.
So again, for me, it's looking at those two behemoths and successful SaaS companies coming together and do stuff. It's worth watching and paying attention to.
Yeah, absolutely. So acquisition time. You got some acquisitions we want to talk about. So, Fortis acquires NetSuite Payments Division of Merchant E. So, this is I'll give an example of how this plays in the HR. This is, payment processing, et cetera. So scaling a business, you got to be fast, right? You got to be nimble, accurate, especially when it comes to payments and reimbursements and essentially commerce in general. So I think this is a good acquisition for them. And this is how it plays into HR. So let's just say company is using an all-in-one HR platform, right? Take your pick. It handles recruitment, onboarding, employee records, performance management. So what it doesn't handle is payroll. and expenses directly. They've got to, HR has got to manage a payroll processor. HR has got to manage an expense reimbursement. They got to expense reward, all that stuff, right? This allows them to now embed the payment processing into their HR platform. And so now it all comes in-house, and they're able to handle this all in one, literally all in one, without logging into other platforms. So it's
good acquisition.
Yeah, good acquisition. We'll see where it goes. And they've been around for a long time, 20, 25 years, something like that. So they're on the move, and we'll see where it goes.
Good acquisition. Talent blog Job Board Doctor was acquired by Catch-22 Group, a company founded by industry vets Julie Sowash and Chad Sowash of the Chad and Cheese podcast, etc.
Yeah.
Found this on LinkedIn. So first of all, congrats to
yes,
Julie and Chad. Jeff has been doing great work. I've looked at that blog for years, the Job Board Doctor, and he's been very matter of fact about the industry. It's a trusted source. Been doing great stuff, and I can't wait to see where Julie and Chad, kind of the Catch-22.
Yep.
Can't wait to see where they take it. So good for them.
Yeah,
and
interested to see. Yeah. Congrats to everyone involved, and interested to see where we're going. Maybe we'll get Chad up in and Joel on, or Chad and Julie on, and we'll talk.
Yeah.
Figure it out. All right, ActiveTrack launches a new feature. So it's not an acquisition, but I think it was breaking news, so I kind of put it in here because they've acquired a new thing. But it's very interesting in the fact that it goes along with a lot of what we've talked about over the last couple of months. So ActiveTrack launches new features: time tracking, alerting, goal setting, and exception reporting. For large organizations. So, I think it was last week. We might have talked about it a week before. Wells Fargo, they fired about a dozen employees for simulating work.
Yep.
Right, mouse clicking, moving, key cards, all that stuff. So ActiveTrack solves this issue. This is what they do. So offline meeting tracking, right? They track offline meetings through a calendar integration that essentially provides a complete picture of what that employee's workday is. They capture online and offline activities.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they have pre-configured alarms and all of this stuff. So what it's able to do is detect non-working activities like streaming, browsing social, searching for jobs. That'd be funny. Like mouse jiggler software, right? So your mouse just moves every 20 seconds, right? So essentially incorrect use of business tools, where employees unintentionally expose PII, personally identifiable information. But I like this. I didn't know where to put it. I think it was breaking news. It's definitely not an acquisition, but they've acquired
it's good stuff.
New features. And I think we've done a number of stories on this.
It's going to scare the hell out of most of the people who listen to this, because they're going deeper into monitoring and more different systems to find out, are you actually working? Yeah. Which, the struggle is and can be real depending on the job. Like, I listen to music all day long.
Right.
Like my Spotify or YouTube, I have music playing. I literally, during webinars.
You're listening to music right now. You've got some Limp Bizkit on in your ear.
I know, not Limp Bizkit, but I do have a Tribe Called Quest. But I have music going.
Tribe is good too.
Can I kick it? All the time. So if they're looking at my work or, evaluating my calendar and looking at the systems that are going on, I mean, what is it? What is it reporting back to them? Or if I can have a movie rolling, especially if it's a movie I've seen before.
Hey, we're the payroll baddies, and our mission is to make payroll fun and relatable.
And call out industry when we hear it.
You gotta call it out. You gotta call it like you see it. But we also gotta shine a light on all those unsung payroll heroes out there, making sure we get paid.
Yeah, those are the real payroll baddies out there, and we love sharing their stories and showing them love.
With gold chain and everything, baby.
By the way, SAP is the best payroll out there, and if you don't like it,
get out.
Yeah, Shawshank Redemption or something like that. Something I've seen a million times. I can have that rolling while I'm working.
Right.
Especially doing kind of task or I'm working in Excel or something like that. Like I just have a movie rolling and not think twice about it.
Yeah,
So,
it's a creative. I think it's a creative driver for many people. We talked about if at some point I'm gonna get the energy to redo the office here. I want a big TV. It's not. I'm not even gonna watch it.
Now, see, that won't show up. That won't show up in their software because that'll be offline. That'll be a TV that's monitored. It'll be on
It's
their
not
screen.
going to be here, But having it in the background, which even if it was like on my top monitor or sides, like it's fine. Like I don't even look at it because if I look at it, I do kind of get distracted. It's just on. It's kind of like sleeping with TV on for me. I need it on. Doing a research paper at the last minute, all good. Speaking of which, we've got some research to talk about.
Oh, segue. One Digital released the findings of its 2024 Employee Value Perception Study. This is at launch.onedigital.com, EVPS, Employee Value Perception Study. So this is responses over 2,000 plus U.S.-based employees. A few nuggets. 42% of employees don't consider their medical plan to be competitive. So that's roughly half. 53% of employees feel recognized for their personal achievements. So when you read that,
47%. Yeah.
When I first read that, I'm like, okay.
I'm not sure. See, I struggle here. I don't know if it's me thinking this way or after all of these years being around you, I think this way. Because that's exactly how I read it. 53% are happy. 47% said I'm out of here. Like they don't like your organization. So let's
they still feel recognized.
You could try to be positive about that, but 47%.
There's no positivity in that. Sorry.
It's like the presidential favorable, right?
Yes.
Polls. Like, oh, he's 47% favorable. 53% just said you suck as president. Like, that's not good.
That's a couple 100 million. That's not
whatever. Good. This here gets me excited. Go ahead. Sorry.
48% of employees fear accidents could devastate their financial future. And again, this is their employee value perception study. So it's their perception is their reality.
Yeah.
So go take a look at the study. It's quite fascinating. And again, it's a large sample size, so you can trust the data.
2,000 people.
Let me tell you a little bit about the 2024 Disability Equality Index Report. It's the most comprehensive benchmarking tool for disability inclusion in business, released its latest findings. This is at disabilityin.org. So IN, I guess, stands for the index, IN. So the numbers look good on the surface, but lack kind of the substance, once you get into the details. So let me give you a couple of the nuggets. 64% of U.S. companies use numerical data to track progress in hiring people with disabilities. Again,
numerical data.
Meaning they're tracking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're tracking people with disabilities in the hiring process.
So 30% of our workforce is,
are not. Yeah,
or
36% are not tracking.
Right.
So 51% of U.S. companies require all people managers to take at least one training on disability inclusion. So, as you would read that, 50% of the businesses don't. Now,
half of America doesn't give a shit.
It gets darker in the next two. 37% of companies make all job interview candidates aware of the option to request an accommodation or accommodations for the interview. So, a third make aware of the accommodations that the candidates could have if they need those. So that's a little bit of awareness.
Yeah.
It's also a little bit of like they're just trying to treat everybody the same way, which doesn't work if we're trying to get to neurodiverse or if you're looking at disabilities. Now, last one. 6% of U.S. companies have an employee retention and advancement program solely focused on employees with disabilities. 6%. That's a punch in the nuts right there. So 6% of the U.S. companies, and again, this was over 2,000 folks that responded to this. It was actually 2,500. 6% actually care enough to have a retention and advancement program solely focused on employees with disabilities.
Right.
That should break your heart.
There
you go.
It does. So when you say that, I felt like, ugh, icky. But as you were finishing that sentence, do people that have disabilities want to have a program designed around them, or do they just want to be considered workforce?
Well, again, solely focused on employees with disabilities can be read a number of different ways.
Yeah.
Right. So it could be that they're just pushed into the regular category of employees,
Right.
and there are retention and advancement programs for employees. However, employees with disabilities need different things from the organization.
Correct. Yes.
Period. End of story. They just need different things. If you're blind, it turns out you need something different from the organization.
Correct.
So, I think having a program that actually retains folks, let's say again, we're using folks that are blind, having a program that actually cares enough, says, hey, listen, we care about retaining you. And you know what? You're doing such a great job. Let's figure out what's your next path.
Right.
You can't throw that into the general population of employees. You got to go, in my opinion, you got to have people that care about that enough to then push that forward.
Right. All right, I've got one here. So Public AI, this is an article for onboarding jobs. Now, not using software to onboard people, but I'll walk you through. So MIT's David Autor, he wrote this, Autor, A-U-T-O-R, right? So anyhow, this is interesting. So 60% of jobs in 2018 were in types of employment that did not exist before 1940. Right. That's, I think, kind of obvious. Yeah. And this is worth talking about, this article, and you can get this at I got this from Global Newswire, but I'll get you another link. I think MIT has it posted, and it was somewhere else, Forbes or something like that. So the article was about illustrating the human and AI relationship over the next 100 years. Okay, so I want to have to read this because I just don't have the memory for all of this. But listen to these stages. I'm just kind of, all right, you'll have a reaction. But creation of intelligence by humans. So this was from 1986 through 2022. So during this period, humans developed AI by experimenting with new algorithms and leveraging advanced equipment like GPUs. From 2015 until 2035, he's calling this the weak intelligence assisting humans. This is where AI assists humans in various tasks, enhancing productivity, efficiency. We're in this stage currently, right? So this is all of our bots and our cute softwares that, you get on Facebook and Instagram to go do this and that. Then we get to 2023 until 2050. This is what he calls when I say he, this is Stephen Wong, who's the Dr. Stephen Wong, who founded Public AI. So this is the strong intelligence corrected by humans. In this stage, humans primarily provide feedback and corrections to the AI systems, so that so it operates ethically, societal norms, etc. Then we get to the interesting part, 2050 to 2100. This is what he calls, I can't wait for this. This is like what we all imagine. General intelligence with minimal human tuning. This is where general AI systems will operate with minimal human intervention, but humans will still be needed to ensure that AI aligns with the human values and ethics. This is where we start to see over the next 15 to 20 years, he's saying, we see the shift in the workforce in terms of learning and generating and really becoming one with it. And then post that, 2050 on, so like our grandkids, we'll be dead. But at that point, truly we'll be working with the robots and managing them as their employees and managing technology in everyday life. It's just part of the fabric of who we are. It's a really interesting piece, and it digs pretty deep, but you should check that out. You would enjoy it.
I like it.
You would enjoy it.
It's very Christopher Nolan. We'll see. Again, I like that that there at least there's an idea of a map of how these things play out. The
Yeah.
dates might be off.
Yeah,
and some of the other things will
Nostradamus
kind of
type
intersect.
stuff.
Right, but the idea that he's laid out a map of how these things have, because he went back historically to 88, and will play out. I like it. Cool.
Yeah, so it was a lot of words, but it was one of those articles. I actually read the whole thing, and I was like, and I never read, so that was good.
There you go. The 2024 Edelman Trust Barometer reveals a new paradox at the heart of society in that rapid innovation offers a promise of a new era, prosperity, but instead risk exacerbating trust issues, leading to further societal instability and political polarization. This is at Edelman.com, and this is their trust barometer. Every year they put it out. Fascinating report. Go download it. It's actually really, really, really cool. But it gives organizations and leaders 4 ways to restore trust. So those 4 ways of restoring trust are: implementation is as important as invention. So meaning in getting usage out of whatever you're doing is just as important as inventing something new.
Yeah.
2, business must partner for change. So it's not Wile E. Coyote or wildcatting. The business must actually partner with change,
right?
Not be reactive to change. 3, science must integrate with society. This is one that actually I think over the last couple of years, where there's been this kind of demonization of science. You know, I think this is what they're saying, and actually I know this because I read the report. But we've got to respect science enough. Oh, it's got to be integrated into society. So maybe science is so far out there that people don't understand it, and so if they don't understand it, they fear it. If they fear it, they don't trust it. Okay,
right.
We got to bring that stuff together. And then the last is give me control over my future. If you want trust, right? So instead of the company enabling that, the company needs to enable. Hey, listen, you've got control. Here are the different ways that we can help you. And here's the different ways that you can help yourself.
Right.
So you have control over your future. The Trust Barometer, again, they've been doing it for years. It's really cool. Go take a look at Edelman.com.
Love it.
Trust Barometer.
The Trust Barometer.
Trust
All right.
Barometer.
Last one for me. Aspect 43, our friends over at Aspect 43, Sarah White, they released a new report.
Okay, what do we got?
So it's Insights at Work. Report looks at trending topics, top concerns for employers and companies, and shares a deep dive into buyer behavior for HR tech, work tech, talent tech, however you want to label it. It's a report that should be read if you care about your workforce and employees. So I'm going to stick that out there. But anyway, two things stuck out at me. The detailed breakdown of emerging tech. They did a really good job, stellar job of discussing, how AI, automations, analytics, all of that impact talent. They did a really good job breaking that down. And employee experience was the other thing that stuck out. So all the things that we've been talking about, well-being, mental health, retention, productivity, does a really good job of, I think, putting those things front and center for leadership to understand, like, these are important, but this is also how the technology will help you. And it gets into buying behavior and things like that. So fantastic report. So Sarah, thank you to you and the team for putting that together. Check it out.
It's interesting that it has all those things together: experience, well-being, mental health, retention, and productivity. Because it's a chicken and egg conundrum for me. If the focus is on productivity, then do you do all these things in order to get productivity? If it's about retaining top talent, do you do these things in order to retain that talent?
Right.
And productivity is not a part of the mix.
Right.
Like I think some of the things we do in work they're counter to each other. Are we trying to retain employees? Okay, there's a mix. There's a recipe for that. Are we trying to get more productivity out of employees? Okay, there's a recipe for that. But I'm not sure they're the same recipe.
Right.
I'd love for someone smarter than the two of us combined to then come in and tell me the difference between the two and kind of how those recipes are the same. But I don't think they are. At least cursory overview, I don't think that the recipe for retention and productivity are the same.
No. Nope.
All right, are we going to do some money? Is this money? Do we talk about money?
Time.
Okay. So we both looked at this one because it was really interesting. Vitable Health, which goes by Vitable, raised $16 million to make healthcare more affordable for small businesses, hourly employees, which is fantastic. The more we see stuff like this, the more we have hope in humanity. And oh, by the way,
they are
from Philadelphia.
I know, that's what came up with my radar. I was like, oh, healthcare, whatever. I was like, oh, they're from Philly. All right.
Philly. I think yes, they're not on the south side. However, they are in Philly, and they're going to use this round of funding. So when you look at the usage of the funds and where they are, they're located in certain states, and so this is for them just to expand. The $16 million are going straight into expansion into other states, and they've got the map kind of blue, light blue, and gray, and where they're going to go. And so they've already done all the work to figure out what it's going to take to get them into those states. So I love this. I love it for hourly employees. Yeah. I love that it's based in Philly. I think it's good for competition. I hope that it drives healthcare prices down and gives other people access to healthcare. Good.
Yeah, they've got access to like thousands of prescriptions or something, like free, all this type of stuff. Right. So yeah, good for them. All right, Juno raises $8.5 million to expand child disability insurance. So total raise to date is 12.5. The 8.5 is their Series A. Yeah. So Juno allows parents to receive up to $1 million, $500,000 per qualifying child in tax-free cash paid monthly in installments for up to 10 years. Okay. Benefit covers children from birth to age 26. Right. And can be used any way the family chooses. So supplement lost income, hiring specialized caregivers, addressing medical costs that weren't covered by your primary insurance, et cetera. So this is, I'm not sure how they do it, all that stuff, but I think this is good. There's really not another, at least that I could find, child-specific disability insurance that is out there. You're kind of left to the benefits of your provider, and so this is that new plan for you.
I know that there's parents out there that have been through some type of accident or some type of thing, and they need this type of thing. But I also know kids that have been born with like severe cerebral palsy or something like that, and they need constant care. I love that. Good for them. Good for the world. Like good for people that can do this. So good. Juno. When I reported on Vitable, I want to make sure that if you want to go read more about them, it's at vitablehealth.com. And again, they go by Vitable, so don't be thrown off by that. All right, let's talk about an Egyptian headquartered DoPay raises $13.5 million for global payroll expansion. This found this on the startupscene.me, and the funds will be used to expand the core business in Egypt and create create products for emerging markets, most likely in Africa and Middle East. I love this. We talked about a Kenyan payroll player last week. People that are going narrow but deep. Like this is in Egypt. They've got their own, it's a payroll play for Egyptian companies, etc. So they're going deep into Egypt. But I like the fact that we have enough players that go wide. It's nice to see these things popping up, and $13.5 million. That's not a small chunk of change. So congratulations to them. Let's keep an eye on what DoPay does and kind of where they go next.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say this publicly, but when I saw the name, I know it's DoPay. But in my mind, I read it as DoPay.
DoPay.
Because it's the way it's spelled. DoPay.
Yeah, DoPay.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Are you DoPay?
DoPay?
I'm not DoPay.
JFF, Jobs for the Future, announces a humongous $25 million grant.
Okay.
So these guys are based in Boston. They are all about pushing equitable economic advancement.
Nice.
So they're a nonprofit. They work to make education and workforce systems equitable. So education, best practices, a lot of lobbying to influence policies on work and education and things like that. I've never had experience with them, but I did read up on them after I saw this, and they're doing some really interesting and good things. Obviously, someone agrees because they've awarded them a $25 million grant. So congratulations.
They're doing great work. God's work, man. It's just helping people. Again, they're helping people that need help.
They're helping
giving them jump ahead, leap ahead to actually help them. Dude,
this is about giving.
Who hates that?
Yeah, and this is about giving people who don't have the ability. Let's say that don't have everybody has the ability, but for people that are underserved, underrepresented, access, correct? Yeah, they're helping to make this a more level playing field, which is, I mean, we need this. We need this. And so this is a fantastic piece, and congratulations on that massive grant. I hope that helps a lot.
Uplimit raises $11 million in funding, led by Salesforce Ventures, to accelerate its momentum in becoming a premier AI enterprise learning company. So Uplimit, first of all, you can find us on uplimit.com. Several AI learning products. You and I, because we went to Cornerstone Connect, we got to kind of see how AI can interact with learning.
Yeah.
But I really like, they have several products, but I really like their AI role play product. So you role play with AI to learn.
Yeah.
So also, Workday Ventures came in on this round. So again, getting back to the work for Salesforce and Workday kind of working together. This is another way where they're investing together.
Right.
So wouldn't be shocking if, these two firms eventually at one point come together in some way.
Yeah. Who becomes the daddy? Yeah.
I have no idea. I think Salesforce has a larger market cap, but you never know. It would be interesting. But I like the play. So just uplimit.com. Go take a look at them. And when you scroll down, that's all they do is AI learning products. I think they have 4 distinct ones. Go ahead.
I will say AI roleplay sounds weird.
Oh, no, dude. It's fantastic.
It sounds uncomfortable. That said, my experience completely changed at Cornerstone. Like when I put that,
me too.
The VR on, and it's not AI, but VR. When I put that on, I was like, wow, this is legit. Like this is actually legit, and it's I could totally see it because if I'm doing it in front of people, awkward. But role playing's awkward anyway. I remember this was 20 some years ago when I was working at Enterprise when I went through an interview to become manager and run branches. I had a role play. I'm like, I'm sitting in front of this person. I'm like, this is awkward. Like you're asking me to do.
And some people are better at than others. But this is private. This is private.
Yeah.
So it's the role play product is always one of several products that they have. Yeah. But it's the one I like the most because you're sitting there role playing with an AI person.
I'll tell you what, if you can't ever find me, it's probably because I have some AI type of role playing or training happening. Because I could see me doing it in private and then using that in real life.
Yeah, that's fair.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's around fishing.
Yeah, well, no, I'd rather be on the water for that. But I guess, if I'm on a plane or something, that'd be cool. So Rocks, which is they're based in Tokyo, Japan, raised a Series D. Terms are not disclosed, but they offer a cloud-based job database for recruitment agencies and for online reference checking service.
Interesting.
Don't have much information because it's not disclosed, but worth bringing up because they got some funding.
I like it. Gen Z freelancer platform, Passionfruit, raises $9 million to scale its platform for independent workers. So this was at usepassionfruit.com. You can read about their Series A. So I love the company name. Shout out to Andy Garcia and 8 Million Ways to Die. So he was a Coke dealer with a snow cone machine in his limo, and his favorite flavor was passion fruit. So whenever he would roll up on somebody, he'd have a snow cone, and he would say, "Passion fruit, baby, passion fruit." So I love the name just for that alone. Anyhow,
I kind of feel like this is going to be the clip that goes viral.
Yeah. Passion fruit, baby. Passion fruit, baby. Anyhow, it's a cool play. I like that they connect with the enterprise. So again, it's a freelancer platform. Gen Z, very specific Gen Z freelancer platform. And I like the way they connect with the enterprise. So, $9 million, not a small chunk of change. Good for them.
Nice.
Passion fruit, baby.
Passion fruit. All right. So Ogum raises a Series B, another one with terms not disclosed. I sense a trend that I'm bringing to the show this week. So they are the leader in flexible staffing in Dubai. So they're out in the AE. They focus on staffing marketplace for hospitality, logistics, retail, essentially enabling businesses to book and manage staff, which is
hiring in that part of the world is jacked up.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, the round was led by, I'm going to mispronounce, Orsia, which is their second investment in Ogum.
Okay.
So shows a lot of confidence that they'll accomplish whatever it is they're setting out to do, and what their mission is. So there you go. Don't know how much because terms are not disclosed, but I bring you some funding news.
Passion fruit, baby. Temp staff flexible platform Work Staff raises $1.16 million to help companies find, schedule, manage temporary and flexible staff. This is on staffingindustry.com, so you can learn a little bit more about that. I read it as an app, and I really like. So first of all, I like the UI of the product and all that other stuff. But you, as a temporary employee or a flexible staff employee, you can kind of pick the place that you want to go work at, and then it's just like any gig work,
right?
So I think staffing firms in general need more tech that's focused on them. So go and take a look at the Work Staff is the name of the company, Work Staff. And if you want to read the article, you can read that at staffingindustry.com.
Yep. So two things here. One, why not just make it 1.2? Why not round it up?
You saw me struggle with that. 1.16.
Like just make it one. Like, come on.
Yeah. Round up.
Give me 50 cents. 50 cents more is all I need.
It's like at CVS, they're like, "Do you want to round up?" Like, yeah,
please. Like, just put it in my bank account as you do it. The other thing is, I think you're right. Staffing agencies need more tech.
Yep.
And I think in the next, we'll just call it a decade. I think a decade would be too long. I don't think staffing obviously is never going to go away. A decade might be too long, but the generations have shifted, right? Like the working force is shifting. And if they don't have the right technology, staffing is hard today. It's going to be very hard in the next 5 to 10 years if they're not moving faster, and not just by building your LinkedIn connections. Like, it's time to move on and give them an actual tech play that candidates, especially with gig workers and flexible working and all of this stuff that's out in the world today. You need access. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot of this. I think you are 100% correct.
All right, two more. Early Bird AI raises $800K to enhance employee support software.
Oh.
And of course, as I read that, I had no idea what the hell employee support software was. So this is at uktech.news. So you can read a little bit more about Early Bird AI. So you might ask, what is employee support software? I got you, fam. Lower income workers support AI through voice recognition that understands dialects so that they can apply for the right jobs and are understood. So it is a really cool piece of technology. So
why lower income?
Well, because what they're doing is they're solving for people, this is UK based, and they're solving for all the different dialects, people that have come in from different countries and have different, different dialects. They're not understood.
Right.
Like in the interviews and things like that. And so this is a way to both hear and then translate into a way so that they're heard, they're understood.
Right.
They can understand. That's why it's support software. It supports the candidate, it supports the employee to understand what's being said. Like, again, they might not understand the language, and their language might not be understood. We'll just scratch that. They're not. So this technology solves that through AI, solves that particular problem.
Okay.
So that's why it's called support software.
Support software.
Very cool. Tech 1M. So it's just tech. The number 1 and M has secured $750K to revolutionize hiring with its recruitment intelligence platform, which leverages AI and data analytics to simplify global talent acquisition, human AI augmentation system. So
Holy
first
crap.
I read that, I'm like, dude. All right, so that's on tech
I'm ready
funding
for
news. This is tapped out. All right, that's techfundingnews.com, so you can go find out a lot of buzzwords, which is what we both fell asleep with. But when you dig in, I like the play. It leverages human AI augmentation workflows to streamline the entire process. So it's built with the intent. So like if you take like someone we love, like say a greenhouse, they build it from the ground up with AI, right? This is built with the intent of humans and AI and augmentation from the ground up. So it's bolt-on versus built-in, something we've talked about in the past. So in this case, it was built from the ground up. Like they started this with the intent of recruiting in the future is about augmenting these things to one another. Like just like what you said up in your research, where this is not one or the other, or one comes at some pace. No, the entire process is a balancing of who does what. Does AI does it? Does humans do it? Et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, it's not like $750,000. I shouldn't say it's not a lot of money. It's probably a friends and family round or a seed round. But the fact that they built this system from the ground up with this in mind, I think it's actually something to pay attention to.
It's a little bit to get them going. We'll see where it's at. So
that's it. That's it.
We're done, man. This is all we got today. This is kind of a cool week. A lot of cool stories out there. I think my favorite might be your homeboys in Texas buying mustard and ketchup and forks, and
we're gonna go ahead and buy napkins with your tips.
Thanks.
Anyway. Mine was the Chinese pre-screen. I think,
that's pretty cool too. Yeah. Are you pregnant? Get the fuck out of here! Go pee on this, please.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to go pee on this.
Oh, goodness.
We'll see. Let's check the results.
All right, guys.
So dark.
It is, but thank you all so much. Please subscribe and like us everywhere. Also, if you have a moment, reviews always help. So find us on your most favoritist. Is that even a word? Favoritist? Favoritist podcast app. Review us. Give us a like. Give us a listen. And share it with your friends. We shall see you in another lifetime.
Bye, rule, baby.